Let's talk about empathy. Empathy is a powerful tool that helps individuals connect and understand others' emotions, experiences, and perspectives. Empathy allows us to show compassion, offer support, and foster meaningful relationships. You cannot be a good person and lack empathy. However, when empathy is not balanced with accountability, there's a strong possibility it will inadvertently breed in individuals a toxic state of being known as entitlement. Now, what is entitlement? I've talked about entitlement in my video called How False Entitlement is Destroying the World. Check it out if you want to go deeper. But to fully understand and comprehend this issue, let's establish a clear understanding of both what empathy and accountability are. Empathy, as mentioned earlier, involves understanding and sharing the feelings of another person. Without empathy, you cannot appreciate others' emotions and perspectives. Empathy leads to kindness, compassion, and a desire to alleviate suffering. On the other hand, accountability refers to the responsibility individuals have for their actions, decisions, and the consequences that ensue. There's nothing wrong with having either a strong sense of empathy or a need to enforce accountability. The problems form when empathy exists without any accountability or when we try to hold others to account for things beyond their own personal control. Empathy and accountability are irreconcilably linked to me because empathy and accountability give rise to entitlement, and entitled individuals prioritize their own emotional experiences and needs over everything else without taking responsibility for their actions. And people like this are extremely harmful for society. I've seen people who have been shown massive amounts of empathy turn around and use it as a shield to justify their irresponsible behaviors, blaming their troubles on whatever unfortunate circumstances led them to where they are in life. They become victims and never seek or desire to let go of their original trauma because they have become addicted to the empathy their victim status has purchased for them. Consider a guy I know that we will call Bob. Bob's dad was a real piece of work. Lots of emotional abuse. He regularly, verbally, and occasionally physically abused Bob. So Bob grew up with issues and repeatedly engaged in destructive behavior, causing harm to himself and those around him. Now, if you know Bob and his childhood situation, it's natural for you to feel bad for him. And so his friends always let him slide on his rude behavior and his lies. He committed petty crimes against them, and they let those go too. He was annoying and condescending, and they said nothing, all because they felt bad because they knew what kind of life he had. The real truth was they didn't like Bob. They felt bad for Bob. When you fail to hold people accountable for their actions, it creates an entitlement mindset. And that mindset flourishes the more you feel sorry for the person. When the negative consequences of your own bad behavior is not addressed, you begin to develop a distorted perception that your actions are not only acceptable, but also justified due to your own personal struggles. This fosters a cycle of entitlement that undermines personal growth, learning, and the development of positive values. Furthermore, when empathy lacks accountability, it can unintentionally enable and reinforce unhealthy patterns of behavior. By constantly sheltering individuals from the consequences of their actions, you teach them that they are behaving properly, even when they are not. And empathy alone will many times fail to motivate them to reflect and change their behavior. This leads to stagnation in personal development and inhibits cultivation of responsible and empathetic individuals. In other words, when we show too much empathy and not enough accountability, we create bad people who go and do bad things. It is crucial to bring empathy and accountability together to avoid breeding a false sense of entitlement. By integrating both, we strike a balance that supports genuine understanding, compassion, and personal growth. Practicing empathy with accountability entails acknowledging and validating others' emotions while also holding them responsible for their actions. This can be achieved by promoting open and honest communication, setting clear boundaries, and ensuring individuals face appropriate consequences for their poor behavior, or even vice versa, achieving positive consequences for good behavior. And while empathy is a fundamental aspect of human interaction, it must be coupled always with accountability. Because by recognizing the importance of personal responsibility and consequences, we can create a healthier and more compassionate society. Empathy is not a free pass to escape accountability, but rather a foundation for understanding and growth. Thank you for listening. And as always, have a wise day.